Howdy, howdy, welcome to another wonderful trash take. Part of my voice, if it's a little off today, I'm a little under the weather, but I saw something and I was like, holy shit, we're finally going to get something good happening. Today, a oversight committee and Congress has announced that they are calling four CEOs from four different tech companies to come testify under oath about how they're not doing anything to stop the radicalization on online forum users. And basically talking about the open incitement and politically motivated acts that have been encouraging users to either murder or kill or doing everything in their power to fester hate is essentially what it's coming down to. Now, I say hate, I mean in this case, it's people that are making open calls to violence that are never banned. And they are repeatedly reported, and they make a burner account, and they just make another burner account, and they just make another burner account, and nothing ever happens. It's a little patch job at best. It happens all over Reddit. But the four CEOs are for Discord, Steam, Twitch, and Reddit. This is me after the fact while I was video editing, wanted to interject with a little bit more on Reddit. If you want to see the issue with Reddit, go on Twitter and look at a user called Reddit Lies. That's their username. They will show the abhorrent behavior of Reddit accounts that go completely unchecked with thousands of upvotes of them calling for death. Now, Discord is probably because of the most recent chat or the most recent shooter, Tyler Robinson, I believe his name, the one who assassinated Charlie Kirk. This guy had some ties to some extreme Discord groups, from what I can tell, and some extreme Steam forum groups, which I've never really used a Steam forum group. So I also wanted to interject again while I was making this video. There has only been one confirmed Steam Discord group that the FBI has told people about, and that's basically the Helldivers Discord group. People, when they realized that he wrote Helldivers slogan on there, scanned social media, found his social media accounts on Reddit and Discord, and connected them. And it looked like Discord deleted a ton of his messages and were purging messages in general in response to the shooting, which is batshit crazy because you should probably preserve that evidence for the FBI. But they also are trying to cover their own ass. I don't know about any other Discord groups. I've previously made a video from Pirate Wire talking about how Reddit Discord groups organize together on different subreddits and different Discord groups to spread propaganda onto other social media sites. I assume he's obviously a part of more Discord groups, but I did want to specify. The only one the FBI has currently announced is the Helldivers Discord group. That's the only one he's in. I used the word extremist Discord and I misspoke. Sorry. I had no idea there was an issue there. Discord's been in the talk of having some really bad actors on there for a while, but this is mainly me coming from the child predator side of YouTube. I like to watch the child predator videos where retards try to meet up with a 12-year-old because they're such terrible human beings that no one wants anything to do with them, so they think a child was willing to date them and they're stupid enough to believe it and try to meet with the child, and then they go to jail for life. At least that's my hope. They should. Anyways, there's a bunch of the child predator catchers. They're very open about where they find these people. It's on a bunch of apps. It's on Discord. It's on Instagram. It's on Blue Sky. And I'm surprised to see that Blue Sky didn't make the list of them being subpoenaed, basically, of them being called to testify at the Oversight Committee. Blue Sky's got some pretty bad issues with it, too. During the most recent incident with Charlie Kirk, they actually locked down the search feature for the website. You had to have been logged in with an account to be able to search, opposed to letting anyone search on it beforehand. They did that because of how feral the leftists were going and openly celebrating that. People started going on there searching for like Charlie Kirk or just celebrations or trying to find people openly celebrating to then try to figure out where they work to get them fired, which is fucking hilarious because everyone that went to Blue Sky was basically too much of a bitch to be able to stand their grounds on Twitter because the shit they say is abhorrent and retarded and they get called out for it and they can't actually handle people disagreeing with their dog shit worldview. So they fled. That's why they went to Blue Sky. And so I'm surprised Blue Sky isn't on there. Twitch, this has been coming for the long time for Twitch. This should have happened so long ago. Hassan Piker, their golden boy, has been given so many chances and allowed to constantly spew his hate on their platform. And this hate that I'm speaking of this time is him making open calls to violence, him showing terrorist propaganda videos, him telling people that threats of violence against senators works and political intimidation works, and he only ever receives like a day ban at max. He got a day ban for calling for a senator to be killed. This isn't a normal person who you can have a conversation with. This is a radical fucking extremist who has been able to continually spread his radical extremist ideology on Twitch because the Twitch moderation team agrees with it. Dan Clancy, the CEO of Twitch, has openly come out and said he is, in fact, Hassan is his favorite streamer. He loves watching Hassan. And we wonder where the problems come from. The CEO is openly admitting, I love this guy, and here's these things this guy's doing, so he's getting special treatment to avoid actual effective terms of service applied against him. And I'm hoping that's what fucking Congress here asks. I'm hoping the Oversight Committee actually plays the clips of Hassan Piker calling for Blaine death and asking, why did he receive a day ban? What's going on here? Because I want to see that motherfucker squirm and to try to talking jargon around why they're allowing political extremists on their platform and doing nothing to stop. Because the answer is he loves riding Hassan's dick all day long. And Reddit CEO also coming down there. I'll be curious to see what he says. Reddit has been a leftist echo chamber for quite some time. There were tons of subreddits that were banning people for saying we shouldn't be celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. Not just random leftist subreddits, major fucking subreddits. Every day I see a new fucking tweet or a new Reddit post from someone who's so crazy and mentally unhinged of them basically calling for death, and then it has like 1,000 upvotes on it. These people aren't fucking normal. They live in their mom's basement and they're trying to spread as much hate into society as they possibly can from there. And the issue is the radicalization part. Is there are people who are supposed to be normal individuals, and the story behind the one who killed Charlie Kirk or assassinated Charlie Kirk is basically he was a normal individual who got radicalized from what looks like Reddit and Discord. He was a very big Reddit user and Discord user. Went off to college, became a little more liberal, and went down some crazy black pill pipeline and ended up with him assassinating Charlie Kirk. And yes, he was a leftist. He had a trans furry boyfriend. Let's be fucking real, people. I don't understand the 20 IQ take of he must be a right winger. Yeah, he's such a right winger. Everyone's openly cheering that the guy he fucking shot is dead. That makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Why in God's green earth would it make any fucking sense for an assassin to shoot someone who politically aligns with them? It doesn't. It's assassinations and political violence are almost always guaranteed from the opposite spectrums. There's occasionally some absolutely crazy schizophrenic people that commit some political violence. That's I consider a little different because Tim Walz told me to go murder these Democrats so he can get reelected, which is what I saw a note come from the guy who killed the 2 senators in Minnesota. Was some crazy dude who was a Democrat who had previously worked for Tim Walz, who said he was killing these people for Tim Walz. He was mentally unwell. I don't consider that man a right-winger. He was pretty clearly a fucking leftist gone absolutely batshit crazy. There are exceptions to the rule, but the most common answer is it's someone on the opposite end of the political spectrum. That's why I'm mentioning the most recent one. But they need to include Blue Sky on this list. Tech companies have gotten away with doing the bare minimum for too long and allowed this hate to foster to the point to where people are now openly dying, and I want to start seeing them being held to the fire, them receiving massive fines, them being told to explain why the same user who keeps making death threats is still active on Reddit and is still making more death threats. There was a guy who was saying kill Elon Musk. He was saying kill Elon Musk. He wasn't getting banned from subreddits. He had his post deleted, and then he'd post it again and get another 1,000 upvotes. They get deleted. Then he'd post it again and another 1,000 upvotes. And this was when Elon Musk did a Roman salute, a crass salute, and people were calling him a fucking Nazi. And that's when I realized that these leftists probably can't be reasoned with. If you see someone who says, I'm throwing my heart out to you, and yes, he makes a Roman salute, and yes, it is similar to the one in Nazi Germany, but then people just straight up saying he's a Nazi, it gave me a reality check that these people don't actually know what a fucking Nazi is or what they stand for. They just think bad guy Nazi. I call him Nazi. Everyone know he bad guy. Like it's such a simplified and retarded logic. It is funny to me that these people are in society and they somehow haven't been turned into like fucking bacon bits from walking onto the highway or something. It's always mind-boggling to me that these people can be this fucking stupid and are still somehow in society. I imagine they're the ones you have to make the don't eat the Tide Pod warning signs for. This is something I have wanted to see happen. Charlie Kirk's death has stirred a lot of emotions in America, and people are pointing out the radicalization going unchecked and being absolutely fucking feral on these social media sites these past few days, and they're entirely correct. But it was also on Twitter. It was also on TikTok. They're not being called forward on either of those. I don't know why. You could bring them all in and make them all demand and make them all sit out their terms of service policies and show examples of people they're banning. But I definitely want to know why the fuck Hasan hasn't been banned, and I want to see what Clancy says. This is going to take place on October 8th, so we have a little over a month before it's actually happening. And I believe the way the city committee works is it first starts off with a request for these people to come, and then if they don't respond, it turns into a basically court order where they will order you to show up here with threat of jail time if you don't. I do want to read the senator who's calling for this subpoena. I do want to read the senator who's calling for this and what he actually posted about Charlie Kirk, though. He's saying, the politically motivated assassination of Charlie Kirk claimed the life of a husband, father, American patriot. In the wake of this tragedy and amid other acts of politically motivated violence, Congress has a duty to oversee the political platforms that radicals have used to advance political violence. To prevent further radicalization and violence, the CEOs of Discord, Steam, Twitch, and Reddit must appear and explain what actions they take to ensure the platforms are not exploited for nefarious purposes. Yeah, bro, Clancy is fucking cooked. There is no way, shape, or form he's going to be able to rationally explain why Hasan Piker has been allowed to be on the platform after openly calling for the death of a senator, openly calling for political violence, telling his chat that political intimidation works. We cannot forget, he openly was telling his chat and openly telling people political intimidation works. It's incitement of violence. It's a blatant violation of the Twitch TOS. So why is he allowed to come back? And I want to remind you, Twitch TOS has very specific caveats where there's some rules like, oh, you accidentally maybe stood up and your boob fell out. That's like a 1 month ban, but you're allowed to come back on the platform. Anything that's like hate or violence, it's a permanent ban. Hasan's been banned 3 or 4 times in a category that should be a permanent ban, but hasn't been. They're fucked. Twitch is fucked. Dan Clancy's fucked, and he's fucked himself hard on. I'm really hoping that they actually ask some decent fucking questions. I hope this doesn't turn into the whole fucking TikTok. Does TikTok connect to your Wi-Fi? Goddamn thing. I really hope there's some actual articulate conversations that come from this and exposing how these dog shit companies operate. And I want Dan Clancy to know he's fucked up. And I'm finally glad that society is showing him that he's fucked up. But yeah, that's all I have time for today. I just want to talk about how dog shit Twitch has been and how fucking hilarious it's been to see Dan Clancy do nothing to stop this political extremism that his platform's been fostering with their Golden Boy going unchecked. With his terroristic threats constantly coming out from him and his chat, it's been pretty cool to see, especially since I've been watching Asmongold. The funniest commentary I've ever seen is when Hasan makes up a blatant lie about Asmongold, and then Asmongold just proves him wrong, and you still see Hasan's rabid viewers completely ignoring Asmongold and insulting him because they don't want to have a conversation. They're just trying to bully. And that's a perfect example of Hasan. He doesn't want a conversation. He wants to be sitting on top of the moral high ground, bullying anyone that even wants to come close to him. He is an amalgamation of what I believe is wrong in America, and I'm glad that Dan Clancy's going to have to explain why he's been playing defense for him so hard. If you guys disagree with that, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Either way, I do think that Twitter and Blue Sky and TikTok probably should have been included in this just so you cover all the bases of major social media, so maybe Facebook too, but that's just what I personally wanted to see. It's not happening. Could happen in the future, though. Thank you very much. Hope I see you in the next video. Until then, later.